Earl! Where were you? I was so worried. If something had happened to you, I don't know how I could have lived with myself. I'm sorry. Don't just yell at him without hearing his side. I thought that was French that smoke all day. Dude, unless the British have changed heavily over the past, like, 2 or 3 years, I went to the UK in 2019? Dude, I'm so bad at remembering dates. But, when I went to the UK for EGX, like, my friends as well, my British friends, and, like, all the British people I saw, they all took, like, rigorous smoking breaks. That's just, like, all they, like, Lone Wolf, back me up here. Back me up here. If you ask Shroom, Shroom will tell you. Like, when I was in Europe, like, and I was hanging out with everyone. I say Europe, I mean the UK, which is in Europe, except Brexit, so they're not anymore. They're, like, I guess their own supercontinent now. But, like, my friends who were British, like, the majority of them took a smoke break, like, at least twice a day, if not 3 times. And not only that, but, like, people just walking on the street when they saw other Brits smoking would walk up and be like, hey, can you light this for me? And it was just, like, normal, because they all smoke so much, they just expect, like, yeah, someone will have a lighter and they'll light it for you if you forgot yours. It's crazy. Yeah, come on, Earl's been thinking about loads of stuff, let him talk. But, Carrie, I can't see people off anymore, and I need to work through things a bit. You saw what happened before, and I need to think about how things got to that point. And I'm gonna stop hiding my failure from Colony 9. What? But I talked to Noah, and this is the conclusion I came to. I have to change the way I feel about sending in these weird, unclear times. Oh, Earl. Offseers are just so much all the time. I hear ya. Look, just look after him a bit more, okay? You don't need to tell me that. I'm his bodyguard, you know. Thank you, Carrie. Good job, team. Case closed. Can't believe you chose to go to the UK. Richie is in the UK. I went to the UK to see multiple friends, but mainly Richie. I got to meet Richie for the first time in my life. It was super worth it. I wish I could do it again. Go see Richie and Shroom. Maybe see Liam and Pete. I guess Lone Wolf, too. Lone Wolf wasn't there when I went to the UK because, I don't know, he was living his life or something instead of going to EGX. Unbelievable. Can't believe this guy. That quest is done, by the way. Let's get another one. That didn't take very long. Lenny and Eastman appear to have fallen out about something. Go and ask Lenny what happened. I was just talking to Lenny about some other nonsense. I know I said we were going to do the missions, like, from lowest level to highest, but this shared secrets mission is, like, right around here. Also, Forgotten Supplies is right around here, so we should knock that out, too, while we're in this area. Chaos, one sentence. What's the premise of this game? One sentence. 2 warring nations that steal the life force of one another, constantly battle it out, comma, or semicolon? Semicolon. Three soldiers from both sides realize the pointlessness of it and try to change the world. There you go. So, we heard you had a run-in with Eastman. Not to be confused with Elfman from Fairy Tale. That news reached even you lot, did it? So you've come to visit me because you're worried? Well, no need, it wasn't anything big. I was asking Eyeless a favor. Eastman happened to show up looking for me, and when I snubbed him, he got a bit ticked off, so to speak. Asking Eyeless a favor, huh? Ah, just something to do with Colony 9's future. Can we ask what it is? Yeah, I can definitely share it with you. I was thinking about my dead team, and I remembered that Marlon had said something about finding some gear that didn't come from Agnes or Kevis. We might be able to use it for Colony 9, right? Unknown military equipment might hold useful secrets. I thought Eyeless would be able to go looking for it in Alevnis, so I asked. Sounds mysterious. Interest peaked? Not peaked? Peaked. If that's the case, you can meet up with Eyeless. Let me send the coordinates to your iris. Appreciate it.
Huh. Would you believe it?
Alright then. Let's get moving. It's not very far. Chaos, one word. What is the premise of the game? You're wasting my time with this question. It's a good thing there's so many herbivore monsters out there in Yonza Plains. Yeah, if it was full of the types that go after people, we'd never manage to fight them off in our current state. He's on a plane monsters. We'll need to get on that at some point. British, that's how you summarize this one. All of the Xenoblade games are British. The translation was handled by a UK team, I believe. Is translation done? Is it just like Nintendo UK or whatever that does the translation for the Xenoblade games? So like all of the voice actors in the first game were British and whatnot when it was translated, or localized rather. And they just kind of made that part of its identity. There's Welsh here and there too. Well, you know, like, I'm an ignorant American. You say Welsh, I think like British but extra. So. Eyeless! Noah, don't surprise me like that. Have you been talking to Lenny? Got it in one. So, this is the thing? Yep. You can tell it's different from Agnes's gear, right? It's not Kavesi either. Also, like, look at how the body is falling out of it. I think this is a clear showing of Cell. Perfect Cell, not Perfect Cell, Imperfect Cell is sucking up bodies to get stronger. We have to find Android 17 and 18 before he does. Interesting. This equipment, it must be some of Vandam's people, maybe? It looks like Guernica's, so I guess I don't know who Guernica is, I don't remember. I was looking into it before you came. There's nothing usable in it, nor are there any clues as to who it belongs to. I see. At any rate, it's so mysterious I don't want to let it go, so I'm going to go report it to Rold. Good plan. Oh, Guernica is Vandam's first name. Why would they use his first name instead of calling him Vandam? Like, come on, game developers. What you talking about? Xenoblade series versus Tales series? Tales of. You'll remember I said earlier, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is my second favorite game of all time. My first favorite game of all time is Tales of Xillia. And my third favorite game of all time is Tales of Arise. So, I need to play Tales of Arise again, probably on my own time, since it's almost been a year now, or coming up on a year. I need to play it again to see if that opinion still holds, because my third favorite game used to be Persona 5 Royal, and I'm going to be playing Persona 5 Royal again in October. So it'd be a good time to play Tales of Arise, like, as I play it, and then really get a good idea on which one I like more, because that's a hard pick. We can't just leave this stuff either. Should we bury it again? Huh? Wait, isn't this a mysterious keycard? We should report this to Lenny. Let's go. I haven't beat Arise yet, but I love all the Tales games I've played. I don't love every Tales game I've played. I'm not a fan of Fantasia, Zestiria, or Vesperia. Those three Tales games I could do without. But I'm a big fan of every other Tales of game I've played. I played like 10 of them, so that's like 7 Tales of games that I enjoyed to varying degrees. And 4 of those Tales of games are either in my top 10 or very close to my top 10. Like, definitely in my top 10 Tales of Xillia of, like, all games ever. Tales of Xillia, Tales of Arise, Tales of the Abyss. Those 3 games are definitely in my top 10, and then I'd have to sit down and really think about it, but Tales of Berseria is either in my top 10, like, it might be, like, my 9th or 10th, or it's in my top 20. So, you know. Tales of franchise, just amazing. Not every game is fantastic, but boy howdy, they got a lot of great ones. So, how did it go? We verified that it was definitely not from either Agnes or Kevis. I knew it. But that's about as far as we got. All we found was this card. Huh. I was hoping we could learn something that would improve Colony 9. Oh well. As for the card, you found it, so you can keep it. You're sure about this? Yeah. Thanks for the help, I appreciate it. I guess I should go and straighten things out with Eastman. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. This side quest started with, like, hey, figure out what's wrong with this guy in Eastman, and then we didn't even talk to Eastman.
Who doesn't like being liked?
Who doesn't like being liked? What a question. Bum. People out here saying Scottish and Welsh isn't British. British refers to anything in Great Britain. That includes Wales and Scotland, too. Anyone who says different is just wrong. I was thinking that, Lone Wolf. But, again, I'm an ignorant American, so I didn't want to say it. And then an actual British person be like, well, actually, on me. But I'm glad that you said it, because you confirmed what I thought. Let's see here. What the heck am I... What am I about to do? I need another quest. Gotta keep knocking out these quests. I should go check this quest, because this is just giving that one Nopon a bunch of materials, and I might have more materials for it, so we need to do that. Forgotten supplies. The harvest. The lost Offseer. Okay. Let's do Forgotten Supplies. This is a Colony 9 one. We're just trying to, like, get through all the Colony 9 side quests right now, I guess. Where do we go for this? Is that this one? Yeah. Do I actually want to go that way to get there? That looks like it's an overhang. I don't think I want to go from there. I think I want to go from this direction, from climbing up here. So let's try that. Do you like a certain game that you like that most people don't like? Honestly, my chat will probably have an easier time figuring out the answer to that question than I will. Is there a game that I really like that is widely disliked? Huh. My internet is so garbage, man. I'm very sorry to hear that, Johnny. I remember the days when I had really bad internet. Dark times.
Time for a climb.
Digimon World 2, that's the opposite. Is it the opposite? I don't think... No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If it's the opposite, then you're saying I don't like it and a lot of people do like it. I don't think a lot of people like Digimon World 2. Let's be real here. Are there people that like Digimon World 2? Yes. Are most of those people probably people that played it when they were 8 years old? Also, yes. KH3 is a good shout, but I don't think that's correct. KH3 is dividing for a lot of people. I feel like it's a lot less dividing for people now that the game has been out for a while, and also that the Remind DLC came out. I don't think that's, like, most people dislike KH3. I mean, like, at worst, it's probably like a 50-50 split. Really, I don't even think it's a 50-50 split. I would be willing to wager that, like, 80%. Maybe that's a little generous. Let's say 75. I would be willing to bet that 75% of people that played Kingdom Hearts 3, at least post-Remind DLC, enjoyed it, but there is a very vocal minority, like the 20 to 25% that didn't like it, and also just, like, will, like, to their dying breath say Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best game ever made because it's all they ever play, will, like, to the end of their days, they will say Kingdom Hearts 3 is garbage, and they're very, very vocal about it.
Send them on.
That's how I see it, at least. World 2 is somehow super popular in Brazil for some reason? Well, I can't help it that Brazil is insane. That's Brazil's problem, not mine. Grace's F is really divided too? Is it? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, chat. I stay out of fandoms for the most part nowadays. Like, over the past couple of years, I've just gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I don't like interacting with fandoms at large and whatnot. I mostly find, like, large aggregate fan bases to be, like, usually toxic and annoying, and I don't like them. I find a much better time just only interacting with my chat when it comes to other games, and then, like, my close friends.
won't be simple.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I even, like, even in fandoms, I want to know if anyone else in chat feels this way. Sometimes even with fandoms, even if I'm looking at a fandom and they, like, enjoy the game at large, and this is, I'm mostly talking about Kingdom Hearts, especially pre-KH3, but, sometimes I just don't like interacting with fandoms, even if they also like the games, because sometimes they just like the games for different reasons than me, or, like, they focus on stuff about the game that I don't care about, like, not the stuff that really makes me like the game. I only ever really experienced this with Kingdom Hearts, mainly, and it's just, like, at that point, I'm just like, I don't want to interact with them for that either, so it's not even a matter of, like, oh, people, like, in the fandom, like, dislike this game or dislike this character I like. Sometimes it's just like, oh, they don't like it the same way I do, and I don't really want to interact with them as a result, you know? I don't really know how to describe that effectively. But I've always felt that way about Kingdom Hearts, especially. Can't believe we've actually found it. Also, by the way, I want to throw something else out there about Kingdom Hearts. Yo, music kicked in. About Kingdom Hearts, when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out back in the day, a lot of people didn't like Kingdom Hearts 2 either when it first came out, for, like, the first year or two that it was out, and then over time it ended up being, when it got Final Mix and all that, over time it ended up people started being like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best ever. Kingdom Hearts 3, when it came out, a bunch of people were like, oh, it sucks. The Remind DLC came out, and a couple of years passed, and now majority of people, at least in my experience, are like, oh yeah, like, I liked Kingdom Hearts 3 to varying effects, but not nearly as much people being like, oh, it's hot garbage, etc. Looks like monster territory, but it should be fine if this is all we're contending with. Then let's get to it. Some fandom thinks Asteria is the best game ever made. You can always find someone that will be like, oh, this game that is actually trash is my favorite. You know what I mean? Like, you'll always be able to find someone. Get barraged, dumb idiot. Whoop. Gun class is pretty neat so far, by the way. I don't like it as much as Flash Fencer. That might be more so because I'm not used to it. But it's pretty good. I like it. It looks really neat. Stop right there. Oh no. Ah. Cage 2 was disliked. Dude, I didn't know it either. I did not know that Cage 2 was disliked at one point. Not by, like, everyone, obviously, but there was a contingent of people when Cage 2 came out that were like, Cage 2 is bad. When people were hating on Cage 3 when it first came out, I saw on Twitter a bunch of people pulling up old forum posts and stuff, because, you know, the internet wasn't quite as widespread back in, like, 2004 or whenever Cage 2 came out. So it was a lot more, like, random forum posts instead of, like, oh, Reddit posts or Twitter posts, etc., which is where you, like, see everything happen these days. But people were bringing up posts about Kingdom Hearts 2 from back in, like, 2004, 2005, where people were complaining, like, oh, Cage 2 is so bad compared to Cage 1, it's just spam triangle to win, etc., etc., there's no dodge roll, it sucks, so on and so forth. Like, there was a time where there was a vocal... Again, it was probably a minority, but there was a vocal contingent of the Kingdom Hearts fan base that was like, Cage 2 sucks. Then, like, 5 years later, after Final Mix and etc., everyone's like, oh, Cage 2 is probably the best video game ever made, right? Etc., etc. So, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 got the exact same thing, and now that Remind has come out, a bunch of people are like, oh, dude, Cage 3, the Remind boss fights are, like, some of the best boss fights in gaming history, which they are, because they're amazing. But, so on and so forth. Like... The Kingdom Hearts fandom is nonsense. It's more nonsense than the storyline that they complain about all the time. Wait, Noah. Trish. I guess we both had the same idea. You're not after it too, or you're after it too, words. On Kite's orders. I like this Hyentea's design. I like the black wings and the green eyes. I actually really like this NPC's design. What the heck? We were going through old logs and came across a container that was never found. What a coincidence. We'll be taking back what you found. Oh, this is Eastman. So hand it over nicely. You have 2 ticks. Well, wait a minute. Let's chat about this here, buddy. Why are you being so snappy snap? Let's go about this. What should we do? That's a good question. Time's up. But why? Hey! I guess we're fighting now. Aren't we all taking this back to Colony 9? Why are we fighting? Why everybody kung fu fighting up in here? Bam, 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 bam. Big damage, big damage. Time for some AoE back attack. You dumb idiot. I accidentally did the wrong one, by the way. I did Demolition, but then I canceled it into Fatal Barrage because I remembered that I can cancel normal arts into normal arts now, which honestly is pretty cash money. Trish. I'm low on health. Someone fix this? I'll fix this. Merge into one. Greetings. You will die now. Behold the lightning arrow. Yeah, that's right. I can spam arts in this form now, you poor sucker. There's no hope for you. Behold my mini healing abilities. No, my laser! It didn't get off in time. Ah, Trish is dead. Pog. Alright, Eastman, it's just you and this random. Let's get this random person here out of here. You gotta go. You gotta go. Behold my power. Oh, I still haven't gotten Violent Streak. AoE, Evade, and Pierce. Sounds insane. Hey, check that. Get wrecked. Oh, you made him mad, did you? That sounds like a personal problem, not a me problem. I want this front attack again so that I can see Violent Streak. My bones, I'm feeling it! Oh, it's the super all-around laser move. I love that attack.